Okay, hi everyone. Let's talk about how I went about making Spaced Out. This game is a mobile and desktop game on the Horizon Worlds platform, and I think it came out great. And I thought it'd be really fun to kind of show a behind the scenes of how some of the mechanics and just the design and how everything was made. So let's just jump right into it. So this was my first mechanic that I made for this game. I thought it came out super good. One of the things I love about him is if I jump over him, you'll see that he like snaps at you. And I think that's really cool. It gives him this really like live feeling. And when he's done snapping at you, he goes back down into this idle animation and it just looks so smooth and so nice. So I kind of want to talk about how this is happening, how this works, and yeah, just let's just jump right into it. Oh, and also too, let's talk about when he actually eats you, because you're probably dying for him to actually catch me. So when he catches you, you get like this cool like little visual effects going off. You get some like nice sound effects, and he swallows you whole. So yeah, let's jump right into it. So let's look at build mode. And if I jump right into build mode, the first thing you probably notice is this huge green trigger. This trigger right here is made for optimization. It's basically telling the level 1 that when someone enters this trigger, that somebody is playing level 1 and to activate and run all the scripts, all the sounds, everything that needs to like run for level 1 to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift this trigger up a little bit just so we can see the plant guy a little easier. Okay, so now if I zoom into him, here he is. You can see that he is made up of 3 triggers. So let's break this down. So this trigger right here, let me highlight it. This is the main trigger. This is a trigger that's saying like, hey, when the player touches this trigger, eat the player. Make that player plant food. And what's happening is it's saying, okay, let's snap the jaws shut. Let's play some visual effects and let's play some sound effects. And then let's respawn the player back to this position right there after like 2 seconds or something. So that's what's happening when the player touches that trigger. What's also really unique is there's something going on right here. If you look closely, see this little cube, this little clear cube right here? This cube is doing a lot of work. And what's going on here is it's basically saying when the player jumps over and touches this trigger, the main trigger that I just had highlighted, if a player touches that trigger, what we're going to do is we're going to move the player to the position of this cube. And then when the player is at that position of this cube, we're going to take away their speed. And then I'm going to drop them straight down into his gut. And that's how I got that cool animation where it's like when you jump over him, he kind of looks like he's grabbing you and he's really pulling you in because no matter how you jump over him, if you touch the trigger right here, he's going to suck you right back into the middle and then drop you down. So that's really cool. To give him more of a live feeling like he's an actual creature, that's what these 2 triggers on top are doing. If we look at this left trigger will say snap the left jaw up. So when the player jumps over him and touches this left trigger, this will snap up the left jaw of the creature. And then when the player goes through the right trigger, it will snap up the right jaw. And that's really what's giving that effect when you jump over him that makes it look so clean, so like live-like. One more thing too. If I turn on the collision, and let me just zoom out a little bit here. Let me grab this collision layer right here, and I'll just move it back so we can see a little bit better. And now if I zoom back into our plant creature here, you can see what's happening now is there is no collision underneath him, and that's what's happening. So when the player jumps over the creature, if they touch the main trigger, it's saying, hey, move the player to the position of this cube, which puts them directly in the middle where they're going to drop down into this hole. And by taking away their speed means they can't get away from the creature once he catches you. And then when they respawn, I give them back their speed, and we play some cool sound effects for them. And yeah, so this is how this creature is working. And now that we know that, let's kind of jump into build mode, or excuse me, let's jump into play mode and kind of just run through it a little bit and take a look at it. So I'll hit skip, I'll jump right into the game. And again, anything that's orange is collision. So we have a collision layer on the ground, we have a collision layer behind us. And you can see here's a collision layer for this like little like creature that sticks its arm up out of the ground, helping us get over this little hump. And just to go into game theory a little bit, anything that's white in the world will affect the player. So here you can see that this like little like cave hole creature, he's inhaling, and if he's inhaling and you see the white, you know, breath coming down, he'll suck you down into the hole. So I couldn't jump over him, and then we get that cool effect.
Regenerating entity parameters.
So I have to wait for him to exhale. And when he exhales, it's safe to jump. And I can go on. And now you see here in the tree, we have some collision in the tree. So we can step on the different branches. And here we are. Here's our creature. So if I jump over him now, you can see that I'm hitting those triggers above his head and he's snapping at me. If I let him go, he goes back into his idle animation. And then if I let him catch me, he'll pull me into the middle of his mouth, and then I drop down to the hole, and that's giving that cool, like he's eating me effect. And yeah, that's it for now. So stay tuned. I'd like to talk more and kind of share more about like the game theory and what went into making Spaced Out in Worlds. And stay tuned. And thanks, everyone.